Welcome, everybody, to this week's You Bet a Network podcast. I have an amazing guest, Ellen, that is going to be joining us today. Now, we met on the new social media platform, Clubhouse. And if you guys don't know what Clubhouse is, you need to know what it is because it is a great place where people are connecting and networking. Now, Ellen she helps women entrepreneurs grow their online business. So she's in the network marketing industry. So we know we love that. I've been doing it for a decade. So we love people that are into the industry and love everything about it, right? So I'm not going to go through her bio too much because I really want her to introduce herself to everybody. So Ellen, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Hi.
And if you guys can't tell, she has a little accent. So I want you all to guess where she's from.
It should be quite obvious.
Just a little bit. She's right across the pond. as they call it over in England. It's across the pond. So Ellen, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
Sure. So yes, I'm Ellen from the UK near London, and I'm a network marketer. And I haven't actually been doing it for that long, but the route that I've kind of taken is building my network marketing business and obviously helping other people to do the same by way of kind of more of like the new age digital marketing techniques, building a personal brand using social media marketing, and that sort of thing, really.
I love it. I love it because it definitely has been, it is different than how it has been in the past, right? So how long have you been in the industry?
Coming up to nearly a year.
That's awesome.
So it all kind of kicked off like when COVID started and there was like a massive influx in people joining the opportunities and people recruiting. And I actually did end up, I was on maternity leave at the time, but I actually did end up losing my 9 to 5 due to COVID. So it was kind of a good thing that I did get into it.
You know something? A lot of people are saying that. It's absolutely crazy to me how just because of COVID, everybody's lives have changed, right? The 9 to 5s aren't normal anymore. A lot of people haven't even gone back to work still. And then having something, like this to fall on to say, okay, here's how it's going to work. Here's how, this is what the whole thing is all about. So now what kind of industry within network marketing are you in? Are you in the beauty side? Are you in the health and wellness side?
Yeah, well, it's beauty and nutrition.
Love it.
I prefer the beauty. I've always been big on my skincare and my beauty, so that's the bit that I really love.
Oh, I love that. We'll have to talk about that because I have been horrible, right? I do health and wellness and skincare as well, like you do, but I have always been the girl who doesn't wash her face at night. Right? The woman who does not wash her face at night, sleeps in my makeup. I have done that forever. And just this last year, since COVID, I have been washing my face at night. And so there's great benefits to it, but you're young. So it's great that you're taking care of it now and not doing what I did most of my life.
Yeah. I didn't actually have like the network marketing opportunity actually introduced me to a solid, like a bulletproof skincare routine. So I didn't whilst I loved all things beauty before, I didn't realize the importance of skincare.
Isn't that crazy? It really is. It's like, oh, I'll just throw makeup on tomorrow. But then when you start really taking care of your skin, you're like, oh, I don't need makeup on today. I think I'm all right.
Yeah.
So now how have you been? You said that your business kind of took off for you, which is a great thing because of COVID and losing your job. How have you been meeting new people to join you in your opportunity?
So mainly social media. When I first started, I really struggled because a lot of what we were told to do, like the team that I was in, was just send a lot of messages out all day to pretty much anyone and everyone. It was like a real kind of free for all, and I tried it that way, and I didn't like it for starters, but also I wasn't getting a lot of results. So I kind of just started researching, really, like Googling ways like to get more results. And like I would never say that messaging people and things like that is something that you should stay away from, especially in network marketing. It's called network marketing for a reason. But I think that it's important to work smarter and not harder, in a sense of, why don't we start messaging people who are interested in network marketing rather than just everyone? And why don't we kind of not focus on just our family and friends as our hottest prospects, but people who are hanging out in areas of the internet that are interested in the opportunity or are interested in the products? So I kind of took a few courses, and I was one of those people that opted in for every single freebie, every single freebie on the internet that I could find. And yeah, I kind of just fell in love with it, and I started putting those practices into my own business. And sure enough, I don't have a huge following on social media, but I am attracting the right kind of people. And from there, it's kind of just grown.
That is awesome. So why don't you share with us a few of the tips that you have learned? I mean, you said you took all the freebies that you could take. So what are you doing specifically that is attracting the right people?
So just a lot of value, a lot of valuable content, helping people with the things that I struggled with in the beginning, that I know that other people are struggling with as well. Like, for example, I got a message yesterday on Facebook from someone who was saying that she was sending out loads and loads of messages all day and she hadn't got a single sale out of it. So yeah, just kind of just trying to help people, give people advice, help people with the kind of things that I was struggling with. And in turn, people sort of want to sorry about that people sort of want to follow the content and engage with it and ask me more questions. And now I'm kind of doing a weekly live. I've only done one, but I'm gonna do one again this week. And every week I ask people, what are you struggling with in your business? And then the content for the live is whatever people have asked me, and we can kind of go over those topics and getting people familiarized with me. And yeah, that really just valuable content.
That is, that is really smart, because a lot of people don't understand that, and they don't know what to do, right? So they're putting content out there, but how valuable is it? Meaning, when you say you're putting valuable content out there, are you putting like a picture of yourself with different tips and tricks to do? Are you doing some written content? Like, what kind of content are you doing? I know you said you were starting to do your lives once a week, which is great.
Yeah.
Yay. So when you put your content out there, what does it look like? I mean, I know because I can see your Instagram, but other people don't yet.
I'm finding the little carousel of infographics that I do. When I look at the insights, a lot of them get saved. I can't see how many times they've been shared because of the GDPR thing. I don't know if it's like that where you are, but because of us, like European, okay, yeah,
we can see the shares.
Yeah, thanks to Brexit, looks like we can't see anymore. But from what I can see from the amount of engagement it gets and the saves, people really enjoy the infographics. So that's basically just a little swipe kind of slideshow thing that I create myself on Canva. And every month I kind of like to think to myself, what did I struggle with when I first started, and what problems did I solve for myself? And then I create those tiny little, those little square infographics, and they, help other people with the same problems.
Something, you're working this so smart. So smart. I just have to tell you, because a lot of people won't do it that way. And you must have been hungry to want to learn this and want to learn it fast, because a lot of people won't go to the extents that you have gone to take every free course you could, or to say, this isn't working, let me pivot and find out what is working, let me Google. What is it about? What was it that really made you hunger to want to make this work?
I suppose that in turn, I knew I I knew that it would give me, I guess, the edge over the competition, because I got I talk about this a lot on social media. So I had my daughter in the December 2019, and then obviously 3 months later everything happened with COVID, and that's when my inbox just got flooded with the same pictures, the same copy and pasted DMs, people who didn't know anything about me. I wasn't getting any value from them. So it kind of made me think, okay, well, I don't want to join that opportunity. I don't want to join that opportunity. And throughout that whole time, I was making kind of notes to myself, thinking, okay, well, I probably shouldn't do that because I wasn't interested in that. Okay, well, if I was that person and I was approaching me, what would I have done differently that would make me really attracted in that opportunity? And obviously I tried it the way, the way that didn't work really in the beginning, because I was new to it and everyone else was doing it, and I was encouraged by my upline to do that, so I did. But I kind of, in the back of my mind, I knew that way wasn't really going to work for me. So yeah, it was just thinking about those initial times that I was approached and thinking, what would I have done differently?
And you're definitely doing it differently because it's working for you. It's working for you. And that's a wonderful thing. Now, when you're a year in to the industry, you're a year into your business, you're seeing success, you're utilizing social media by adding value to people, right? So giving out value. So that's attracting people to you because you're sharing what you've learned to help teach them. What other things do you do to work to grow your business? Are you in when you said you go to where people who are interested in the industry are, where are some of those places?
So I've just started to get back into the groove with Facebook after dumping it as a social media network for many years. I just kind of switched it off and jumped onto the bandwagon with Instagram. It's kind of, I'm at the point now where I've gone back in time to Facebook because I realized I was missing a huge trick with Facebook. And I think the problem with Instagram is, like I always say, I'm an Instagram nerd as opposed to Facebook. But the problem with Instagram is that it hasn't got much of a community feel. And with Facebook, you have the groups and that kind of personal engagement. So, and there's a lot of people on Facebook that do what we do. So yeah, I think that definitely Facebook groups has been a good thing for me. I'm trying to think off the top of my head anything else, and just other, I suppose, following hashtags as well. It's kind of just about working things out on social media where you can kind of find people who are hanging out, and they like what you do and they're interested in it.
I love it. And I want to pull this up because there was something that you also are doing. So now that you're using Clubhouse, which is an amazing app. And guys, the thing that I love about Clubhouse, it's so amazing because you don't have to think about how you look. You don't have to worry about what you're writing and all that stuff. It literally is a place where you can go and share your voice, share your value, listen into what other people are doing, and really network. But the fun thing is it connects to your Instagram. So, we're in a group or you're in a room and you're talking to people. And this is how Ellen and I met. We were in a room together. We both messaged the guy in the room because he said, message me Clubhouse and I'll put you in a chat, sticks us in a WhatsApp chat. Now there's like 400 people in that chat where I'm just like, I gotta shut those notifications off. It's a little much, right? But that's how we connected, because then we're like, oh, well, I'm going to be in this room. Why don't you come in this room and listen to what's going on in this? And you can learn and you can actually network. Now in it on Clubhouse, though, you're smart because in here you have DM me Clubhouse on Instagram for my free 5-step framework to explode leads and sales. Now, I'm assuming that's a lead page. I'm assuming that's a little PDF that someone can get when they DM you Clubhouse on some of your top tips. Am I right on that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And is it a way that you are, because this is a trick that not most people do, is it a way that you are also gathering people's email addresses so that you can stay in communication with them?
Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm. Right. Because that is something most people don't do. They just use social media to use social media and they don't do anything to collect, because whatever happened if something, I mean, it's Facebook and Instagram, but you never know, like whatever happened if something happened and you lost all your following and you have no way, you don't own that content. You don't own those followers, so you need to collect it from somewhere. So you're being smart in doing that. Now, do you have a website now? Are you thinking of just sticking with, using it as your social media, your network marketing funnel? Or are you also looking at creating some kind of an online platform as well for yourself?
So, well, yeah. So at the moment, I've got my lead magnet to collect my email addresses, and it's funny what you that you just said what you said, because I think it was on my live that I did on Thursday, I said I probably only see about 10%, like if that, of people in our industry, in network marketing, using a landing page or a lead magnet, when every other online business who has, a strategic marketing process in place is doing that. Why aren't we? Why shouldn't we? So yeah, I'm using that at the moment. I think in terms of my goals, certainly, well, there might be something in the pipeline, but I'm not sure.
Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, where I would love to have kind of an online sort of membership area, or some kind of platform where people could have lifetime access, or whatever it would be, where that, yeah, they could come in and I can share my tips and tricks, and other people can share theirs, or they get some sort of access to some training. Not sure, but yeah, definitely that's something that I think a lot of people in the industry do kind of head that way, because it's just it's another way to strengthen your brand and strengthen your presence online. And obviously by doing that, you're kind of positioning yourself as a bit more of an expert in the industry, and it gives you that platform to not only help others, but if you lead, people follow.
That's right. Nope. And you're right with that. Now, you just said something, and you said it in the beginning, where you said you created your own personal brand. You created your own brand of who you are, right? Instead of the old way of just, I mean, back in the day, we used to do parties in people's homes. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it really wasn't about you. It was about
some of those, actually.
I've been to a lot of those. A lot of those, and just a little bit, probably double your age, just about. But yeah, so creating your personal brand online. What does that mean for you? You're doing a great job, and you are standing out differently than just, sitting back. So what were the first couple of things that you thought of when you said, I need to create my own personal brand, when realizing that you are the brand?
So I think I always liked, not in a goady way, but I do tend to throw rocks at the enemy. And by the enemy, I just mean the kind of old school ways that a lot of people in the industry are still doing it. So I do make a lot of content just kind of throwing rocks at copy and pasting spammy DMs and trying to convince your prospect that it's not a scam and things like that. Because I think when you're not targeting your ideal customer, you're targeting everyone. You are gonna fall into the hands of those people who just do not want to buy from you, or they do not want to join your opportunity, and you'll waste a lot of your own time that way. But that's when you get to the point where you start getting really disheartened by it, because you're getting a lot of rejection. And I'm not saying that you're ever going to get to a point where you are going to be rejection-less, but you can design your business so that you're targeting more of the right people. So I think, yeah, that's something that I'm beginning to get a little bit known for, is my kind of, I'm sort of just, I don't take it too seriously, but I make fun of the kind of old school tactics a little bit.
Yeah, I hear you on that, because I remember when I was first coming into the industry, like 10 years ago, I was coming from corporate America, and I had been in sales, and I had climbed the corporate ladder and all of that. And I was dragged to an event in a hotel. It was back when people, for talk about the opportunity, you brought them to a hotel room, and into a hotel event, and you're sitting there and you're like, oh. And I just heard horror stories about it. Now I had been in the company using the products for almost a year, and the people around me were like, no, you have to come to this thing. And I remember sitting there and just looking like, oh my gosh, I want to make this money. Oh my gosh, like, look at these checks. What's going on? Like my head was just, my mouth was open. Like, this is a real opportunity. This is something real. And that was way back when. And then you left there, and what are you doing? You're buying product, you're stocking on product, you're going house to house, you're hosting all these parties house to house. And now it really has shifted to say, everything's online. You don't find many companies anymore where you have to stock on any product. I mean, nobody's coming to your door to pick things up. It's, everything is through social media, and to stand out, you do have to do things differently.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree.
Yeah. So now you're using Instagram, you're using Clubhouse, now you're back into Facebook. Do you use any, which is great. Now, do you use any other platforms? Or are you just saying, I'm going to focus on these three and get really, really good at it?
Yeah. So I'm conscious not to spread myself too thin. I can't remember if it was recording at the point where we were talking about repurposing content, but so for example, I post the live that I did on Instagram, I posted it onto my Instagram, and I have also posted it onto YouTube. Now, am I actively looking at growing my YouTube channel? No, but if on the off chance somebody types in how to build a customer base on Instagram and my video pops up on YouTube with the link in the description to my lead magnet, then that's great. It's another stream of traffic. But yeah, I think I probably am going to cap it at these for now. Experience a bit more burnout. I mean, I must say, even with Clubhouse, I did after about a week or no, it was about a week and a half of like solid, constant route, like listening in every day. And I was hosting a room as well. And I was literally like, whoa, like I actually haven't done anything like in my business. Like I can't remember the last time I did something proactive because I'm just constantly on Clubhouse. So I was like, well, I need to just take a step back. But yeah, I think 2021 is definitely going to be Instagram, Facebook, Clubhouse, and obviously the email list as well. That's something that is only in its very early stages. And I'm not used to email marketing. It's not like it's something that I've done for years. So I'm still working on that, and yeah, I'm gonna have my hands full, but it's all good.
Yep, it's all good. And what's great is because the way you're doing it, we're like, you're on Clubhouse and you're saying, go to my Instagram and DM me Clubhouse and I will give you my free content. And then when they do that, you probably say, I need your name and your email address, right? Yeah. And I will get the information to you. And then that way you collect their email address, you're actually gathering that content. Now, is your plan, because you said you're new into it, is your plan to just do whatever you do on social media, adding some more, maybe a little bit more value into it, and then just emailing them once a week? Are you going to plan on doing like a couple of times a month? What's your focus on getting in touch with your email?
So right now, so when they download my guide, it's a 5-step framework. So it's literally 5 pages. It's not like a massive book or anything. So what I do right now is I give them a few days to read the guide, get their head around it. And then I'm doing like a 5-day email sequence, and every email has a video going further into each step of the guide, if that makes sense.
Yep, nope, totally does.
And the reason for that is because, and I explained it in the first video that I sent to them, is a lot of people will sign up for the free guide, sign up for the webinars, and binge consume all of this content, but actually when it comes to putting it into action or implementing it, they're like, what do I do next? So the aim for those emails is I don't just go straight in and say, oh, hey, come and join my team, or sell that I've got a little micro ebook out as well. I don't kind of sell them straight away. It's more like, okay, so you've learned this stuff in the guide, now work with me to implement what you've learned over the next 5 days.
I love that. So you're taking them through, and you said something key, taking action. And one thing that I have realized just talking to you for the last 20 minutes or so is that you have done nothing but take action. You said, you know, you were in Clubhouse, you're on Clubhouse, you're listening and stuff, but you realize, whoa, I'm not doing things for my business, right? So I need to take action. But it sounds like you got into the industry and you said, you know what, I want to make this work. And you've done everything you can, not just to learn, but to implement. And I think, like you said, that's where people get stuck. They try and learn so much and then they don't know what to do at that point. So I love that you're teaching them the implementation piece too. You know, like take the time, learn this here, go do this and then come back. I do that with I do that with people all the time. Like they want to know everything. I'm like, nope, I'm just going to tell you this. Well, what about go do that?
People as well start looking too far into the future and they start worrying about problems they haven't had yet.
Yes.
So a lot of people who are brand new into network marketing might start worrying about how they're gonna manage their time coaching a team, and it's like, yeah, but you haven't even got one person yet. Let's do that, and then we'll get to that point.
Right. Oh, I love that. This has been absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing all your tips and everything with us. If there was one last thing that you would want to leave the audience with, what would it be?
I think, as cliche as it sounds, just because it relates to a lot of the content I've been putting out recently, is be yourself. And I didn't realize until like further into learning about how to grow my Instagram and personal brand and marketing and things like that, is that like pretty much this all comes down to your personal brand. Nobody is you, and that is your power. Don't try and be like this other, you know, social media guru who's doing this and this. Be you. Talk about what you want to talk about. Talk about your struggles, open up, be vulnerable. I'm not saying that you have to come out with a, you know, sob story and get the violins out, but you know, be vulnerable, talk about your past, talk about why you are where you are today and why that's making you want to help people. And people naturally flock to people like that. We're humans, we like tribes. That's just kind of the way it works. So yeah, I would say, just if you're gonna go for it, you know, just be yourself. Don't be worried. You know, put loads of valuable content out there, and you'll have fun. If the worst thing that can happen is you'll just have fun.
And that's not so bad. Fun's not so bad either. I love it. Well, Ellen, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Today, I absolutely appreciate it. And everybody, check in with us next week. Check in with me next week for what we have going on next week. But Ellen, thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thank you so much for having me.